Hello, this is Kiosha, aka Miss Kitty, coming at you back, coming at you live. All right, today we're going to talk about self rejection. So let's get back into it. And we're coming from the book Overcoming Rejection by Frank and Ida Mae Hammond. So, self rejection is important. It's important for us to identify. And the book talks about why paranoia may begin to torment people's minds. People may also begin to reject themselves. Both fear and future rejection and self-rejection work hand in hand. A person may question themselves. What is it about me that repels others? A person begins to think that he is different from everyone else. And also he thinks that he's alone in the world. Then what happens is that a person may begin to think that if I change who I am and become something entirely different, then I will be loved and accepted by people. And then what happens is the key to enjoying acceptance by others is to become different from your actual personality. And then we decide to create a new self based on a fantasy in our mind. Now, I've been through that. I've done that in my life. You have to find out who you are first, not what people, family, and social media tells you who you are. And in order to do that, again, I've said before, you have to be honest with yourself about yourself. And when I was younger, I wasn't honest with myself about myself. I was in the same boat as what this book talks about, trying to recreate myself because I was not happy with who I was, and not even happy with who I was. I didn't even know who I was. And I didn't even go on the journey to find out who I was. But I thought that I needed to be like everybody else to be special or to be accepted or to fit in. So what I did I grew up in Chicago. So what I did, I started changing my hair. And if anybody knows about that old style in Chicago, when we had the French rolls and the finger waves and the shoulder temple curls, as you can see my hair is naturally curly. This is it. Okay? Ain't no finger waves finna work in this. No. As soon as you put some gel on that and try to make it dry, it's going to curl right back up. It is not going to stay. So I tried the finger waves. I tried the shoulder temple curls. They come out pretty at first. Soon as I sweat, soon as how everything and go on throughout my day, it shriveled up back up to this. And I did not understand that this, for me, is beautiful. But I wanted to be like everyone else. And by doing that and straightening my hair and putting all those chemicals, I was destroying my hair. Because I didn't know who I was. Nor was I even trying to figure that out. I just wanted to be accepted by people. I just wanted to be loved by somebody. And I thought that doing that would achieve that goal. But it didn't. You know, I have the gift of gab. If anybody know me, I've always had the gift of gab. I've always talked a lot. I thought it was a bad thing because people would make fun of it and they would say things about it. But I realized that once I started learning who I am, that's just who I am. And that's just my personality. And I've learned to embrace it and love it to where there's places where people may not go because they won't talk. Whereas I'm able to go in those places and reach people and talk to people because I do talk. So another issue that I had growing up was my clothing. I came from Chicago. Then I moved to Iowa. That was a major transition. You going from wearing Jordans, Marta Jabot clothes, Nikes, Guess jeans, Louis Vuitton. You go from wearing all of that to going to Iowa where it's Dark Martens, or it's all these other stuff, shopping at Maurice's. It's a culture shock as well. And the clothing is totally different. I'm used to in Chicago wearing baggy clothes because I was a tomboy, and that was the style back then. You wore your clothes looked kind of like boy clothes, but you still had your big hoop earrings and your purse and all those things like that. Going to Iowa, it wasn't none of that. It was your clothes was more fitted, showed more curves. I even got to the point where I was doing other stuff that I never did before, like shaving my legs. In Chicago, you didn't shave your legs like that. That was, especially when I was growing up, that's like not the thing. In Iowa, they were shaving everything. Your legs, your arms, armpits, everything. So I started to get accustomed to that. Then when I got around church people or got into the church and things like that, that started to change. Then I started to dress like everybody else. Then I started to look like everybody else, thinking that that's what I was supposed to do. Still wasn't finding out what was inside of me. What did I like? What made me tick? So, and it's okay. I'm going to say it's okay for you to find something that you like. There's lots of different styles that I like. I like lots of different styles. But if I'm going to wear something that is a style that I see, I'm going to make it my own. I've learned to make it my own, to make it to my specifications, not try to be exactly like someone else. Make it fit you. We're all made differently. Everybody's different. We think differently. We talk differently. We act differently. We see things differently. It's amazing how people can read the same thing and then they all come out with different meanings, or they come out with a different look at it. No one's thoughts are the same all the time. So if that is the case, then why not us be different in everything we do? It's okay to be different. It is okay. And you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be you. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be ourselves. Okay? Old people and young people suffer with this. People talked about, me singing. I would try so hard to sing. Oh my God, I would try so hard to sing. But I realized, you know what? My grandma told me one time, baby, I know you sing when the Lord touches you, but honey, that ain't your thing. I was like, Grandma. She said, baby, that ain't your thing, honey. Your thing is this. That ain't your thing. And I was offended at first when my grandma told me that, but I realized, you know what? She was telling me, be myself, be you, be who you're created to be. Don't try to do what other people do. Now, it's okay to fill in, and if you have to be called upon to do something, that you'll have the grace to do it, but it's not something that I'm supposed to do all the time. It's just something I'm supposed to do temporarily, but not all the time. So, getting back to, people may seek to be, like I said, people may seek to be something that they see inside of a book, television, a movie, or they copy themselves after a celebrity, some kind of an idol who they admire. And they seek to emulate other people. They say same phrases as other people. Sometimes that happens, that's okay. As long as you don't shape your whole self or your entire being after that person or after what you see. We are all unique. We are all special. And we're all beautifully and wonderfully made. Even if somebody rejects you. But if we fall into the trap of rejecting ourselves, we open ourselves to the creation of more of one or more alternative personalities. Any of these alternatives to our true self are false and thus manufactured. It's made up. It's not genuine. It's not original. It's made up. And over time, these alternative personalities become negatively fueled. Or for people who go to church, it's demonically fueled. Through self-rejection, a door can be opened inside of you, which brings into it the characteristic of multiple personalities. Sometimes for people, it's schizophrenia. The false personality rules over your true self. You don't want anything ruling over your true self. That's why it's so important to find out who you are and embrace that. Self-rejection begins with a question. Who am I? Who am I? Who are you? It develops into a double-minded person. A double-minded person is basically just a person who's so indecisive. I mean, you're going to make decisions all the time throughout your whole life, constant decisions. But a double-minded person is a person who is constantly, all the time, indecisive. Can't decide on anything. They swing and they waver. 1 minute they want this, next minute they want that. 1 minute is this, next minute is that. They can't make a concrete decision and execute it. And so we don't want to be double-minded. It is a person who is confused in your mind, who is unable to separate reality from fantasy life. That happens all the time. People who are double-minded a lot of times too don't want to face reality. It's okay if you're one of those people who don't want to face reality. Now is the time for you to examine yourself and find out why you don't want to face reality. Because it's not good to live in a fantasy world. Because one thing I tell people a lot of time waits on no one. Time keeps going. Like the people say, the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going. Time keeps going. It doesn't stop. And the more that we do not take the time to find out who we are, and the more that we do not take the time, and we take the time to run away from our problems and run away from our issues, time keeps going. And so before you know it, you stay stuck. And you get stuck and you stay stuck. And then sometimes it could be 1 day, then it turns to 10 days, then it turns into 3 weeks, and then it turns into some months, and then before you know it, it's years that we stay stuck running from reality, running from ourselves, running from the things that happen in our childhood, running from dealing with our own intricate issues that's within inside of us that try to shape us into things that we are not. But because of life circumstance, because life happened, we allowed it to take root. And we think it defines us, and it doesn't. So, an example is, like I said before, and in the book he talks about when he became a pastor, he felt insecure. And he had practically no confidence in himself at all. And when he compared himself with other ministers, he always judged himself by other people and thought he was less qualified and capable and less qualified than they were. And what happened is he began to start to copy these other people as well. He would imitate the other ministers who he admired. And he would copy them to the best of his abilities. even his mannerisms, his personalities. Have you seen that? Have you seen people? I know you have. That they 1 minute. I had one person, and I and this disturbs me even when you deal with people in relationships. I had one person who was a friend of mine who didn't watch basketball. You know, I watch basketball, I watch football. I don't watch it all the time like I used to. But, you know, I really didn't have a favorite team. There's teams I like, but I really didn't have a favorite team. Well, I had an old friend of mine that would say that did not watch basketball, none of that. Then all of a sudden, they get with somebody who is a basketball fan. So they feel to be accepted by this person. You know, it's not in their mind, I want to be accepted by this person. But they feel that they had to all of a sudden not only watch basketball, but now all of a sudden got a favorite team. So you jump from not watching basketball to now you got a favorite team. And I'm looking like, you don't even watch basketball. How you all of a sudden got a favorite team and can name the doggone favorite team too, and still don't even watch them? Why would you do that? Just be yourself. If you don't like basketball or if you don't watch basketball, that's fine. If you're a person who watch it periodically, that's fine. It's okay. But you don't have to make this major change and change completely who you are for somebody else like that. Because you're not being genuine. And at some point, they're going to find out that you're not being genuine. And that's going to make them look at you even more crazier. That's going to make them look at you like, because you're lying to yourself. Not only you lying to yourself, but you're lying to them. Stop doing that. You don't have to be. If somebody wants to be with you or want to love you, let them love you for who you are. Show them your true self. Not what we pretend to be. Because you can only put on an act for so long. We can only put on or mimic other people for so long. Because at the end of the day, at some point, your true self is going to come out. And then, once they see that true self, and they wasn't ready for it, that's going to determine for them, if it's a relationship, whether they want to be with you or not. Instead of going through all that heartache and pain, just embrace who you are. Find out what's inside of you. Find out, what makes you tick. And embrace who you are. Love yourself. Don't reject yourself. It's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. Have a great day. I'll see you back later.